All right, I think we are ready to go, going live. Hopefully this is all working. So today I'm starting out on a weight loss period of my workout. Now, if you want to lose weight or are looking to do that, let me walk you through some of the numbers that I'd recommend. And if has seemed really complicated or really overwhelming before, I'll try and break it down to make it simple. It's actually not that complicated. It's harder, maybe harder in application, but the numbers are relatively simple. So let me walk you through that first. So to lose a pound of weight, it takes a reduction of 3,500 calories per pound. That's now that is divided up across however many days. For me, I'm trying to lose a pound a week. So we take that 3,500, and that means we need to reduce 500 calories per day to lose a pound in 7 days. So I would take my however much to maintain my weight and drop that down by 500 calories. That number is going to be different for everyone. Depends on how much you weigh currently, how tall you are, how old you are. A lot of different numbers that tie into that maintenance amount. But we want to go 500 down from that to lose a pound in 1 week. So how do you find that maintenance number? So there's two ways of doing that. One's a little more accurate, one's a little easier. The first way is Googling a calorie calculator. What you'll do is you'll plug in all your information, height, weight, things like that. It'll ask you a lot of questions and then give you a number of how much you need to maintain your current weight. From there, you're going to take that number and subtract 500, and that will get you your calories per day that will get you to that pound of weight loss per week. Now, these are estimates, but that one's pretty accurate. Weight loss is the average over time. So we want to try and not weigh once every 2 weeks, but the average over a period of time, weighing every day, should be about a pound a week. Now, the other way you can do this is take your body weight in pounds, multiply it by 15, and then subtract 500. And that will give you about the number of calories per day, give or take. That one's a little less accurate, so you might need to change the number down a little bit from there or up a little bit from there if you're losing too fast or too slowly. So if you're losing too slowly, try to reduce by 100 calories and see how that goes, that you're hitting that goal of 1 pound per week. Or if you're losing more than a pound per week and it's a little too intense for you, too stressful, you can add 100 calories and see if that gets you closer to about a pound of weight loss per week. But that's what I'm doing, is I'm taking my numbers, which are 3,000 calories. Now these numbers will vary for everyone, and I'm not saying eat what I eat. What I am saying is try and find that 500 calorie reduction. So I'm eating 2,500 calories a day. And that's, for my numbers, what's gonna get me to where I want to go. I'm gonna try and lose 8 pounds in 2 months, and I think you can too. I'm here to support you, to encourage you. You can do this. So if you have questions, let me know. I'd love to help you accomplish what your goals are and get you to where we can do this. It's going to be just small steps of just those incremental steps. We can't lose it fast. We don't want to lose it fast. We want to lose it consistently over that 8-week period. So that's the diet side. Now, if you're thinking, what is 500 calories? It's about 3 cans of soda a day. So easiest way of thinking about it, if you are drinking 3 cans of soda, cut those out of your diet. That's what 500 calories looks like. So other half of this is exercise. Now, the myth of exercise is that it's a weight loss tool. It's not really a notable amount of weight loss from exercise. It's such a small amount difference. It's not really worth looking at for a weight loss side of things. That's much more diet. But here's the thing about exercise. Exercise if I was to ask you, what do you want to lose? Do you want to lose muscle or do you want to lose fat? Most people would say they want to lose fat. And what exercise does is it helps you keep the muscle so the weight you're losing is the fat. Because unless you have a ton of muscle, and most people, even if you have a ton of muscle, don't want to lose it. We don't want to lose this muscle over here. So exercise, doing resistance training, helps keep that muscle where we're not losing pounds of muscle, we're losing fat exclusively. The more we can, we want to maintain that muscle, those pounds of muscle we worked so hard to get, or that we are trying to maintain. So that's what resistance training does, is as we're losing weight, we're keeping that muscle, and all of our weight loss, or most of our weight loss, is in the fat instead. So that's why I'd recommend exercise. Even though it doesn't help you lose more weight or weight faster on the scale, it helps you with the type of weight you are losing, where we can burn off that fat, not because the exercise burns the calories, but because it causes the just day-to-day living calorie burn that we have of just keeping your body functioning. Doing resistance training makes it so we pull that from the fat, not from the muscle. We don't want to be burning muscle, so that's why we signal our body by doing resistance training. When you do resistance training, it pulls those nutrients into the muscle. It causes your body to realize, oh, we need this muscle to survive. Let's only take from the fat. We need the muscle to survive. So we're helping your body know what to pull from, to not burn the muscle, but to burn the fat. So that's why it's two sides of the equation to really get the weight loss we want. We're focusing on diet for the number on the scale, but focusing on exercise for the type of tissue, for that fat tissue burning, rather than muscle tissue burning. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. I want to encourage you guys to join me on a 8-week fat loss. We're going to try and aim for about 1 pound a week. And today we're going to go through a resistance training workout, trying to maintain that muscle mass while we're losing weight. So good luck. I would encourage you to start today. You can do this. If you like these live streams and want to see more, I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm here for you if you ever need support or encouragement or questions about what's going on, what the numbers you're seeing, how to adjust them. So we're going to go into a follow-along workout doing resistance training, because it's important to do resistance training while you're trying to reduce your weight to maintain that muscle mass. So we're going to be working with dumbbells today, and we're going to be doing exercises that work a lot of muscles at once to make sure we're maintaining that muscle mass across the whole body, because we don't want to lose muscle or lose size in a neglected muscle. So the first exercise we're going to be doing is a bench press. Now this works the chest muscles, the triceps, the anterior deltoid, and the front of the shoulder. So we're working a lot of muscles at once, maintaining muscle mass. So we're going to start with the warm up. So I'm going, hang on a moment. So I'm grabbing 2 dumbbells. Now these are going to be a little bit lighter just to warm up the muscle. So from here, I'm going to bring my hands right over the top of my shoulder. I'm doing a slightly lighter weight to get blood flow into the muscle before I go for a heavier weight. Now, in resistance training, the exercises are divided up into sets, which just means a group of exercises, or a group for an exercise, where it's hard to hold that position and talk at the same time. In a set, I would do a number of repetitions, say just going up and down 5 times for this, and that would be 1 set. So for an exercise, I usually try and go between 3 and 5 sets, so repeating it 3 to 5 times, and that's going to help promote muscle growth or maintain muscle mass in the muscle. So in that muscle we're working, so for this one we're working the chest. I'm gonna start with my hands right over the top of my shoulders, keeping those hands wide and in line with your elbow. You're gonna bend your elbow, dropping your hands down to the outside of your chest, and then push back up. So this is a bench press, trying to really keep that chest out. You should feel that right across your chest. So I'm tapping the dumbbells to the outside of my chest and then back up. Now, bear in mind, I'm not bouncing at the bottom, so I'm not going down and back up instantly. I'm controlling it all the way through and then back up. The slight pause at the bottom, so I'm not using my muscle like a rubber band. So this is a warm-up set, so it's a little bit lighter of a dumbbell, but I'm trying for about 10 reps. Just getting blood flow into that muscle. Gonna move the bench just a little bit. There we go. Now, the other exercise is going to be a bench row. So, from here, one hand on the bench, put the dumbbell on the ground, other knee on the bench as well. From here, this is going to be a row. So I'm going to pull the dumbbell from the ground, just above the ground, pulling up to my rib cage, and then back down. So on this one, I'm really pulling up to that rib, not trying to pull up to the shoulder, going up to that rib cage to really engage the upper back and lats. So I'm working the lats here, and then the muscles in the back of the shoulder and some of the biceps. So we're combining all of those muscles in one movement. Doing about 10 of these each side, and then we will switch to a heavier dumbbell. Same thing other side. Letting the dumbbell pull you all the way to the ground and then up to the rib cage. Now the important part is to go all the way back down and hold for a moment and then come back up. All right. Excuse me a moment. So now I'm shifting to a heavier dumbbell. That was the first set, which is a warm-up set. Now, from here, I'm gonna try for at least 3 more sets of trying to go between, anywhere between 5 and 30, but I'd recommend aiming for 10-ish reps, somewhere around 10 reps. So grab a dumbbell that's challenging enough where you can do 10, but going over 10 is gonna be difficult. Now, that might be hard to estimate, so if you want to, just grab a dumbbell that's a little bit easy at the first couple, but then it gets hard by number 10. The important part is you want to maintain good form the whole time. So trying to not let bounce at the bottom. Keeping those dumbbells apart. Feel this working in your chest. This is set number 1. That was 10. I'm gonna try for just a couple more because I feel like I can get a few more in. And relax. All right, and go ahead and set the dumbbells on the side of the bench. So we're going to be using about the same weight for a row. So putting your hand right underneath your shoulder, grabbing the dumbbell, pulling up to your rib cage. Now I like to have my knee out of the way. Make sure you don't hit yourself in the knee with that dumbbell. Again, trying to go for the same number each side. The exact number doesn't matter, but try and go the same on each side so you're even. Ten. See how many more you can do. 11. 12, 13, 14. All right, I'm gonna try and do the same number on this side. So I'm going for 14. Remember I said anything between 5 and 30 is fine, but aim for somewhere around 10. It's a good place to start. Should feel tiring by the last rep. Two more. 13 and 14. And relax. Whew. You can grab a quick sip of water. So that was set number 1 of our upper body, chest, and back. So we're getting both in one workout, doing compound movements, which means we're hitting a lot of muscles all at once. So we're maintaining that muscle strength across a variety of muscles. So I like to take a quick breather between sets, especially when I'm on a caloric deficit or where I'm lower calorie. Usually it takes a little bit more rest time between to let the muscle recover and then to jump back into it. So. All right. Now, going back to the bench press. So if you're just joining us, we're doing a resistance workout to maintain muscle mass while on a calorie deficit. So starting with the bench press. We're on set number 2. So pinch those shoulders together, push that chest out. From here, bend your elbow, drop the dumbbell to the outside of your chest, and then back out straight. Trying to go for about 10 reps. Do as many as you can. Whoa. And relax. Man, that second set, I don't think I was quite recovered enough. I got to 10 and that was my limit. Let's set this down for just a quick second. Oh man. Could feel it across my chest. You'll hit a point when you're lifting weights where you go to push it back up and the muscle just doesn't have anything left to give. And that's called muscle failure. That means that all of the muscle cells in that muscle are fatigued and can't push anymore. So that's a good number to aim close to. We want to go right underneath that. So we're aiming for just below muscle failure within a couple reps of that. That's why I say aiming for 10 is a pretty good number. All right, going to a row now. Going to a row. So I'm gonna set the dumbbells on the side of the bench. Putting your hand right underneath your shoulder. Grabbing the dumbbell, pulling up to your rib cage, doing a row. This is working the lats, the biceps. And 2 more. 11 and 12. Oh. Same thing on the other side. Try and go for 12. So I like my knee right up against the bench, so I'm not going to clip my knee as I pull up. Going here, pulling up to the rib cage and back. 2, 3, 4. I'm going for 12. And relax. Take a moment, catch your breath. That was set number 2. I'm gonna take a few more minutes between sets. That lets my heart rate come back down. As you saw in the second set, I wasn't able to push the same number of reps that I was in the first set, because I hadn't recovered quite as much between. Now that's okay, I'm getting to failure, that muscle failure, earlier in the reps because the fatigue's already there. That's not a problem. It's just, for me, it's a little easier to give more recovery time where I'm still getting the benefit of resistance training, maintaining and building that muscle mass. Our goal with this is to either maintain our muscle mass or slightly increase it during this 8-week period. So if you're looking to do that, I know you can. You got this. So if you're just starting out or you've been doing this for a while, that's great. Our goal is to lose about 1 pound per week. So I'm here to help you do that. So if you want to join me in this weight loss challenge, going for 8 weeks, trying to lose 8 pounds. It's about 500 calories in reduction per day. So reducing your daily caloric intake by 500 from maintenance. So if you're eating as much where you're not gaining weight and you're not losing weight, try to drop that down just 500 calories a day. That is our goal. So I'm here to help you, here to support. If you need encouragement, love to talk and chat. If you don't want to put yourself out there, I totally understand. But I hope that you're taking the steps to live a happier, healthier life. So anything I can do to help with that, if I can just be here to encourage you, it's worth it because you're worth doing. You are worth it. You can get there. You are worth putting the effort in. All right. So set number 3 of bench press. So I'm going to put the dumbbells on my knees. So I like to prop them up on my knees and I lean back to get them right over my chest. So pinch those shoulders together, pushing out towards the front. It's our last set of bench press. So pushing up, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh. All right. Setting the dumbbells to the side. Going for one more set of rows, working the upper back, the biceps, between the shoulder blades, all those muscles together. So one hand underneath, grabbing the dumbbell, letting it hang, then pulling up to your rib cage. So looking up just a little bit to keep your spine straight, pulling up to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And same thing on the other side. So one hand right underneath your shoulder, pulling up to the back. 1. Really bend that elbow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move the bench to the side. Those are our 2 exercises we're doing for upper body today. So this is gonna be a full body workout. So if you're just joining us, we're doing a resistance exercise set for full body using dumbbells to maintain or increase muscle mass while we're in a calorie deficit losing weight. So our goal is my goal for you guys is for the next 2 months, we're gonna try and lose 8 pounds together. So I'm here to help you guys do that. So we're doing resistance training to maintain muscle mass and keep that muscle that we worked so hard for. We, on the calorie side, are dropping 500 calories a day, going into deficit 500 calories. So that's about 3 cans of soda less per day to try and lose a pound in a week. So for me, I'd go from 3,000 calories down to 2,500. Now your numbers are going to be different. If you want to figure out what you should be eating to maintain your weight, I'd look up a calorie calculator, type in your numbers, and then it will give you a number of calories you should eat per day to maintain your current weight. From there, you want to reduce that by 500 calories, and that will get you how much you need to reduce per day and how much you need to eat per day to lose a pound in a week. So that's the numbers, is 500 calories a day equals 1 pound. 500 calories reduction in a day is 1 pound per week, because there's 3,500 calories to gain a pound or lose a pound. So that's eating a surplus of 500 calories or reducing 500 calories down to lose a pound. So that's what our goal is, to eat below that maintenance amount so your body has to pull calories from the fat. And we're doing resistance training so it doesn't pull calories from the muscle, because that resistance training sends signals to your body saying, keep this muscle, it needs to stay around, we need it to survive. So instead, your body will pull calories from your fat. That's why it's important to do resistance training, not because it burns calories, but because it keeps muscle. It keeps that muscle healthy and nutrients in that muscle, and so your body has only your fat to pull from. So we want to lose as little muscle as possible and as much fat as possible, or we want all of that pound of weight loss to be from fat. So that's why we prioritize resistance training. So now we're going to do some leg exercises. So we're going to do a standing squat or a sit to stand. The other name for this. A sit to stand is where you have a chair behind you. You sit, tap the chair, and then come back up. I don't have a chair right with me, but you can imagine there's a chair behind me. I just tap it and then stand back up. Squat is the same movement. Squatting down, back up. So if you would like to, you can put a chair behind you, gives you that stability. If you need to sit down, it's there. What we're gonna start with is without dumbbells, and then we'll move to a dumbbell version of this. So we'll warm up the legs doing squats. So feet about shoulder width apart, toes pointed in the same direction as your knees, and your hands can be across your chest, by your ears, whatever feels comfortable. If you want to have your hands out in front, that's totally fine too for now. I would get used to having them up by your ears. Jody Irwin says, so spot on. I have to limit daily intake up protein significantly. That's great. Good for you. I think that's such a good thing to up your protein amount too, to maintain that healthy muscle. Trim empty flats out of 2 main meals. Increase daily exertion. It's working 60 plus and hopefully a healthier year. That's awesome. Good for you. you're doing fantastic. This is everything you need to be doing. So like I said, it's that reducing about 500 calories a day to lose a pound in a week. And just like Jody said, taking out the empty calories, like a couple cans of soda, that would be 3 cans of soda a day, gets you that 500 calories right there. So sometimes it's one big thing, sometimes it's a lot of little things. So I like to keep a log on my phone of everything I've eaten in that day. I weigh everything and I log into my phone. I use an app. There's a number of different apps. I personally use the Fitbit app. A number of ones work well for that. And just finding where you're eating those calories and making sure you're keeping it in that calorie range for you, of knowing how much you need to eat to maintain and how much and then going down 500 calories from that to reduce in weight about a pound a week. Jody says, MyFitnessPal fan? That's great. I'm so glad that's working for you. Good job on finding a tool that works for you. That is, because there's a lot of different options, and finding one that fits your style, works for you, makes sense to you. For me, that's Fitbit. If you guys want to try Fitbit, would recommend it. If you have something that works for you already, it's fantastic. Keep going. Very good job. So we're going to go back into squats. So feet about shoulder width apart. We're maintaining the muscles in your thighs now. So this is primarily working these quad muscles, but it also works some of the muscles in the back of the hips and in the thigh as well. So front of the thigh primarily, with some back here. So feet about shoulder width apart, hands by your body, whatever feels comfortable. I like to put my hands up by my ears, and you're gonna bend your knees, going all the way down to nearly seated and then back up. So I'm not bouncing back up out. I'm trying to go down, hold for a moment, and then come back up, so I'm not using my muscle like a rubber band. I'm really trying to bend at my knees though. So I'm keeping my back straight. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna engage more of those quads. Now, if my feet are wider, I'm engaging more of the inner part of my thigh. I'm still working the quads, but I'm taking some of that pressure off of my thigh muscle in the front if my legs are wide. So try and have your feet about shoulder width apart. We're really emphasizing the muscles on the front of your thigh, those quad muscles, because we want to maintain that quad health, especially. Going for about 10 of these. I'm really trying to bend my knee to see my back stays straight. I'm bending my knees all the way down. I'm not leaning forward to go down. I'm really trying to just bend at the knee. So you feel that, a little bit of a burning feeling in the front of your thigh from that. Next thing we're gonna do is called a golf pickup, or the other name is a stiff-legged deadlift. If that sounds intimidating, don't worry, it's not that bad. What you're gonna do is, now we're gonna work the muscles in the back of the hips and back of the thigh. So really emphasizing those. So I'll show you from the side. From this, I'm gonna push my hips backwards, trying to bend at the waist, keeping my knees stiff so they don't bend and they don't straighten. I'm really just trying to push my hips back like I'm reaching down to pick something up. So I'm not bending forward at the back though. I'm pushing back with my hips to engage this big hinge of the hip. So feel this in the back of my thigh and back of my hips. So pushing straight back. You can do this in front of a wall where you push your hips, tap the wall, come back up. Reaching down towards your toes, keeping your back straight. You should feel this in the back of your thigh. Now, if this is intense for you, do this one without weights. If you need it to be a little more intense, We'll do that in just a second. Grabbing a set of dumbbells. And one more. So proud of you guys for taking those first steps, dropping the calories, and looking to where you can cut those calories to get down below maintenance, where you can work at, like Jody said, it can work at any age. But the most important thing is that we don't stop exercising while we're doing that, because we don't want to lose the muscle mass. Because if we stop working out, our body looks at the muscle and says, we're not using this, let's get rid of it. So we want to keep on using that muscle, so our body looks to other places to get rid of weight from other things, like the fat. But that's what we want to do, is really prioritize that fat loss. So now we're going to do a sit to stand with dumbbells. Now, if you need to, if you don't feel challenged enough, if you feel challenged without the dumbbells, you don't have to do dumbbells. The whole goal is for the muscle to feel tired by the end of this exercise though. So feet about shoulder width apart, that prioritizes those quads. So we're gonna bend the knees, sitting down, and then standing back up. So you could do this in front of a chair if you'd like. So sitting down towards the chair, tap the chair and come back up. So I'm really trying to bend my knees though, not bending from the back. Trying to go for about 10 at least. This is strengthening those quads. We're telling the body to keep that muscle. One more. And relax. So now dropping the dumbbells to the front of your thigh. What you're going to do is keeping your back straight, push your hips to the back, doing a golf pickup. Bending forward, keep the back straight, push those hips back. Feel that engage in the back of your thigh, back of your hips. Going for about 10 of these. Trying to go straight back. And relax. Set the dumbbells down for a second. So if you're just joining us, we're going through a follow along resistance training workout to maintain muscle while we lose weight. So our goal for the next 8 weeks is to try and lose a pound a week, which means losing about 500 calorie reduction per day. So if you want to lose weight, I encourage you to join us. You got this, because you are worth it. You are worth the effort. You are worth putting in the time to live better, to feel better. So I'd encourage you to join us. I'm here to help you in whatever you need. So if you need help with advice, just encouragement, because it can get difficult and it's easy to give up, I'm here to tell you, you can make it. You can get there just a little bit every day. Just here to help. So now we're going to go into our second set of legs. We're trying for 3 sets today. So we're almost done. So grabbing dumbbells, going back to a squat or a sit to stand if you'd like to do this with a chair. So hands up by your shoulders, feet about shoulder width. That prioritizes the front of your thigh by doing this. If your feet are wide, it's the inner part of your thigh. So we're really trying to bend the knees, feeling this in the quads, going for 10 reps. 1, 2, really trying to bend the knee, keep your heels on the ground. 3 more, 3 more. And relax. Drop the dumbbells down. Hang on 1 second. Take a couple breaths. It's important to keep breathing all the way through this. Feel a little bit lightheaded, so we're gonna just take a moment and rest between sets before going into the next set. Letting our heart rate come back down. So we're continuing to challenge those muscles. So if you have any questions or just want to chat, feel free to post in the chat. Always love to hear how people are doing and what, maybe if you have questions about anything here, or you try something that works well for you, that is awesome. And love to celebrate that with you and so we can all live happier, healthier. That's my goal, is to help you live the life you want. Have strong muscles, strong body. So that's why I'm showing these exercises. So I want to encourage people to live a happy, healthy life, to be active all the way through their life. And that starts, doesn't matter if you're 15 or 85, that starts today. Because it doesn't matter where you are, all of us can get stronger. I had a client who was a World War II veteran, convinced they weren't going to be strong enough to walk again. And we got them, I helped strengthen his legs. We worked on a lot of exercises to strengthen and to be able to walk a mile without any crutches, any cane or anything. So that's how I know it's possible. Everyone can get stronger. People can do things that they'd be amazed they were able to do. And it's important, everyone's a little different. Don't compare yourself to other people. Think about where you used to be and where you've come to now. And that's the important thing. Don't think about what everyone else is doing, because it doesn't matter, they aren't you. But I'm here to help you get where you want to go. So, and to encourage you, you're worth putting in the effort. So, I don't know if that's you today, but if it is, hey, you are worth it. I believe in you. You can do this. So let's do this together. You got this. It might look big in front of you, that maybe it looks like a mountain in front of you need to climb. We can take that one step at a time. You can do it. So we're gonna do a golf pickup, keeping your legs stiff. You're gonna hinge at the hips, pushing your hips out behind you and keeping your back straight. So pushing those hips to the back and back up straight. So working the muscles in the back of your thigh, back of your hips. Trying for about 10 reps. So only go down as far as you can. Keep your back straight. So if that's only going down to your knees, that's okay. Just go to where you can control that movement. and relax. Whew. So we're gonna take a moment between sets. We've got one more set to do. But if you like these live streams and want to see more, I host them on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Feel free to drop in. Love to hear how you're doing. If you're joining me on this weight loss journey, I'm here to encourage you. So feel free to drop in, say hi, and if you have questions, I'd love to hear them. If you just want support, I'm here to encourage and help. We've got one more set to do. Maintaining the muscle in your legs. Whew. So we're just gonna take a minute, rest before the final set, and then we'll jump back in. Watching my heart rate as I'm doing this. So I'm definitely getting some cardio as we're doing it, but especially today, because our goal is more for muscle development, I recommend just taking a little more time between sets, because especially when we're trying to lose calories, it's going to be more fatiguing to go through the same exercises typically. That's what I found for me and for my clients. Weight loss tends to cause more fatigue. So because of that, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like, oh, I'm not doing what I need to be doing. You're doing a good job. If you're doing resistance training, whether it's dumbbells, bands, machines, any of them, it's gonna be harder, and that's okay. Don't feel like you have to push yourself harder just because you're losing weight. You might need to be a little bit more reserved. Go to where you feel challenged, but not overwhelmed. And our whole goal is to maintain muscle mass during this time period. We're not really trying to build muscle mass a whole ton. That's going to be very hard for us to build that much muscle mass during this time period. That's okay. You can do this. So we're dedicating a period of time to lose weight, and during that we're maintaining muscle mass rather than losing muscle mass. So we want to keep that muscle there as the fat clears out. So one more set to go. We're going to be doing either squats, or if you want to, you can do this in front of a chair for it being a sit to stand exercise. So I'm going to bring the weights up to my shoulders, trying for 10 squats. So for this, feet are shoulder width apart. That emphasizes those quad muscles. So bending your knees, sitting down, and then coming back up, trying to hold for a moment at the bottom, so you're not bouncing out of the bottom of the movement. So, going 10 reps. 1, 2. I'm going down, hold for a moment, and then back up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 more, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and last one, 10. And staying the weights down for just 30 seconds. Catching your breath. And then we're going into a golf pickup after our last exercise. Almost done. So we're doing a full body resistance training workout. So we're just about done. We're working the muscles in the back of our hips, and then we're calling it a day. So grabbing the dumbbells, back straight, It's important, especially on this one when we're tired, keep your back straight. So push your hips back, keep hinge at the hip. We're not hinging from the back. It's all from the hips on this movement. Now, if you feel like you can't control this movement, do it with a lighter dumbbell or no dumbbell at all, till you feel confident you're controlling the movement well. 4 more. Last one, and up, and relax. So, if you like these live streams and want to see more, feel free to join me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you there.